Welcome to Inside Fort Worth Business, Fort Worth's only video magazine focused on the faces of Fort Worth and cultivating business. I'm your host, Chris Quinn. We've got a great show lined up for you today with Hal Lambert, the principal of and founder of Point Bridge Capital, the first ever political ETF, who's going to tell us about that. I also have Brad Nallen, who's a family therapist, who's going to talk to us about stress and addictive personalities and what that all means and how that all comes together. I also have PR guru Beth Hudson from Hudson Creative, who's going to talk to us about Crockett Row and the rebranding of it and what it all means. And I also have Maria Lucci, the Empowered Mom, who's going to talk to us about her brand and the transition of a career change and bringing that all together. You know, it's been a great week this week of branding and cultivating and Fort Worth and all the different things going on. And I don't know if you saw with Schwab doubling their presence out at Alliance and Westlake with their campus, going with over to $100 million in 2019. Originally, their campus, I guess, was set for about $50 million. Now it's gone over to $100 million campus, which is fantastic, which is exciting. So lots of really exciting things going on. And, you know, that's what I was thinking about this week was what is inside Fort Worth business? You know, how do we go inside these different businesses and look at them and how do they all come together and what does that really mean? And, you know, that's what is exciting about what we do at Inside Fort Worth Business. And today you're watching us on live on Fort Worth Today, and we'll do this rebroadcast on YouTube at CQ Digital Media. So it's an exciting time and lots of exciting things going on, and we're just thrilled to be here each and every week at 12 o'clock noon, bringing this different decision makers, business owners, cultivators, and different people together to kind of tell their story of what's going on. And this week is no different. I'm really excited to bring these different people together that are making a difference in our community. And our first guest is someone that I saw on TV while I'm multitasking on CNBC. I've seen him on Fox. I know he's done Canadian thing. He's founder and CEO of Point Bridge Capital. He's helped me because I keep trying to understand what he does, and he's been very patient with me. He's Hal Lambert, and he's here to tell us about this fund, I describe it as, and he's here to talk to us. Hal, thanks for joining us today.
Sure, no problem.
Tell me about this and how you designed it.
Well, I have an investment firm, Point Bridge Capital, and I've had it about 4 years, office in downtown Fort Worth, and I've been involved in politics for over a decade as well. And so basically I was kind of looking out and saying, well, you know, how can you combine people's political views with their investment philosophy as well? And so what I did was I decided, hey, you know, people are boycotting products and they're doing different things around that, but yet they didn't have a way to invest with the same political views. And so I took the S&P 500 and I screened it for the political contributions of the PACs, political action committees of the companies, as well as the employee contributions. That's all reported to the Federal Election Commission. And I created a proprietary model and I screened it for the top 150 Republican supporting companies in the S&P 500. And so what it does is it gives people a way to invest. It's publicly traded, so they can buy it anywhere they have an account. The ticker is what's gotten a lot of the press, and the ticker is MAGA, which people are kind of associating with the slogan from Trump's campaign that he did. But you know, anyway, it's easy to remember, and I think it's really interesting for people to be able to now, for the first time ever, invest based on their political ideology. I'm actually calling it politically responsible investing. There's socially responsible investing that's been out there for a while, but there's never been anything based on politics.
That's great. You know, with everything going on with politics today, has the fund generated more buzz?
There's been quite a bit of buzz. And in fact, when I filed, it started trading September 7th, so just this month. And I was on CNBC to talk about it. I've been on Fox Business News to talk about it with Stuart Varney. The CNBC interview was really interesting and fun. There was a back and forth between Joe Kernan and Andrew Sorkin on Squawk Box that that morning with me there talking about the differences in what people's political views are. But it was really fun, and so yeah, I've got that actually posted on my YouTube link, so people can go to investpolitically.com, and at the bottom there's a Twitter feed, but there's also the YouTube as well as Facebook. But the two interviews are there.
That's cool. Now, what motivated you to want to kind of create this fund?
Well, as a money manager, I've been in the investment business for over 20 years, and really it started with looking out and seeing people boycotting products and it causing a real difference in the stock price. So if you look at, for instance, Starbucks, people were upset with Starbucks and they stopped shopping or buying coffee at Starbucks, and yet at the same time they may not have realized that they own that stock in their mutual fund. So it actually hurt the share price of Starbucks to the point where the CEO was let go. But they don't realize, hey, I'm going to go out and boycott a product and lose money at the same time. So I felt like this was an alternative for people to be able to do that and make sure that they're aligned with their own political views in their investment portfolios.
That's cool. Well, I really enjoyed watching you on cable and seeing you on TV and stuff. You do a great job.
Thank you.
You really do.
I appreciate it.
Now, where can I follow you? Where can I find you?
So you can go to, I'm at Point Bridge Capital downtown. That's the firm I founded.
Okay.
So there's the Point Bridge Capital website, but there's also the investpolitically.com, which is solely focused on the exchange traded fund that I created. And then within that, there's @MAGA Index on Twitter. And I'm going to be talking about companies. Going forward, I'm going to be following what companies are doing politically, because they are doing a lot. They've been more political than ever. And so I'm going to be tweeting about that. I'm going to be writing blogs about it. I've got a couple of blog posts out right now based on what's going on in the corporate versus and political world.
Great. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Great stuff. Terrific. Now I've got Brad Nowlin with us. Brad?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being with us.
So glad to be here. I'm originally from Fort Worth, and great to be back here in Fort Worth after being gone for 32 years or so. My group, I'm with Fort Worth Counseling, and I'm a marriage and family therapist, and I get to help people get along better and really enjoy life.
Terrific. You just nailed it out.
I try to. I don't want to have any stress here, right?
Put the hammer in the, what do they say? Put the hammer in the wall and nail it, right?
Something like that.
Let's talk about how technology is leading to more addictive behaviors.
Right. We see, the trends, and I'm sure you do as well, with our phones taking over our lives and really impacting relationships, where a lot of couples that I work with, one of them is on the phone all the time for their job, and then, they go on vacation and the other one wants to take that phone and throw it in the ocean. In fact, I think I've heard some stories about those ocean-bound phones. Boundaries, healthy boundaries with technology, knowing when to turn off our phones, when to set it aside. It's a vital part of today's life, and I see it impacting young people in particular, where they're on their phones late at night, and it makes it harder for them to get quality sleep. And so we have to watch it in every area of our life.
Yeah. I call it the third person in the bedroom.
That's so true, and it's so much a part of our lives these days. I think that a good quote I heard is that we're Stone Age people living in a digital world. That a lot of our anxiety and depression and other responses to what happens is really more a function of who we've evolved to be, and yet we've got these incredible technology devices. I think the iPhone's 10 years now, and it can't even imagine life without the iPhone and smartphones.
Yeah, it seems like we have to stay connected to be connected.
We do, and yet, I want to go home and watch this show. I mean, it's exciting to see a lot of stuff on, and yet we have to find time. Well, when's a good time to do it? As you and I talked about earlier, we watched Leave It to Beaver when we were kids growing up, and we knew exactly what time it was going to be, and we'd watch it, and that was it, and we'd be totally focused on it. We weren't distracted. When we were watching Beaver, we weren't watching our smartphone at the same time, looking at Twitter or whatever. So now, we could probably binge watch it on Netflix while we're looking at our phone, while we've got our computer, while we got all these things going on. And the research shows very clearly that multitasking doesn't work. Now, I feel like a total hypocrite because I multitask all the time, but we know if we really focus on one thing at a time, we can do it fairly well. Relationships tend to do better when we focus our attention on our partners. And so again, when we're talking and we're on our phone, it's not really as impactful and connecting as we want it to be.
It's crazy. I was watching TV the other night with closed captions on, looking at my phone, multitasking. Where can we find you?
I'm at Fort Worth Counseling, fwcai.com, or Brad Nowlin, BradNowlin.com. I'm right over here in the Museum District at 550 Bailey, and I love helping people get better.
Okay, and you're on social media?
Yes, sir. I've got a LinkedIn and Facebook profile.
Great. And what's the best? You love to release stress by?
For me, exercise, prayer, spending time with friends, those are the best things for my stress, because as a counselor, you can imagine, I hear some pretty stressful stories. Thank you so much.
We look forward to seeing you again. Hey, that's good stuff. And I think we all know it. We just kind of have to find that happy medium with it. So next up, I've got Beth Hudson. Crockett Row is getting a lot of airtime today. Those people should be happy, shouldn't they?
Very happy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Crockett Row's in my backyard. Beth Hudson, PR guru with Hudson Creative. How are you?
Very good. How are you, Chris?
Great. You had a busy day yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, we had the Chalk Art Festival. It was the 3rd annual. Lots of amazing visual artists and kids having fun, drawing all over the sidewalks, but
Good.
It was really a beautiful thing.
I have Beth Hudson here, and we're talking about Crockett Row, and they have rebranded that area down there, which we all know. It's really where I live. It's where I work out at LA Fitness. It's where I see movies, it's AMC Theater. It's where some of my favorite restaurants are, but it's 5 blocks down there,
Yes,
right
sir.
right on the corner of the Cultural District. I cycle down there. They've got fun activities down there. Tell me about what's going on.
So much. So right in the middle of the Cultural District, 5 blocks, lots of great restaurants and retailers. Earlier this year, we had the first Fort Worth West Elm move in.
Oh, cool.
So that's been great. Such a beautiful store, getting lots of good traffic, and I'm spending a lot of my paycheck there.
Good.
So
Good.
But also lots of great restaurants coming in as well. We have Pac Pow coming in out of Dallas. That's like Bangkok street food, and El Bolero. Handcrafted Mexican food, so lots of great things.
Well, it's also that mixed area too. I mean,
Yes.
there's offices, there's retail. I mean, there's something for everyone, right?
Yeah, there's
what
apartments too, so great
Yeah.
place for young professionals, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, and I saw tell me about the new common area that's going in down there.
The Common Desk.
Okay.
So such a cool concept. It's a workspace, but very visually appealing. So you can get lots of good work done there, but also make good connections. There's freelancers, there's startups. So, not only can you get good work done, you can really create bonds with other business owners and cultivate more business, like you said.
Great. Now, do you have a favorite restaurant that you like to go to? I mean, there's so many great restaurants down there.
There's really so many options. I love Cork and Pig.
Yeah.
They have a great brunch.
Yeah.
Fireside Pies has been a long-time favorite.
It
so
is.
You really can't go wrong.
And Mashed is one of my.
Yes.
It's awfully good.
Really good cocktails, too.
So it seems like there's always it seems like there's lots of activities going on too.
There
down
are.
there.
We host a lot of events. Yeah, like I said, the Chalk Art Festival was a great community event. We have lots of things coming up for the holidays, some light shows and carriage rides. So we're really excited. And we have more tenant announcements coming soon. I can't say my lips are sealed, but there are some really exciting ones coming.
That's cool. I love the light fixture down there.
Thank you.
That is very cool. Very cool. So Crockett Row, 5 blocks, and I love the fact that it's right on the cusp of the Cultural District.
Yes.
Safe area, lots to do, lots to see, fun area, and can you share anything with me about going? I know you. I want to.
Just a concept that Fort Worth hasn't seen before. It's culinary oriented. That's about all I can say. But I'll send you the press release on that.
Absolutely, and I hope we will. I hope you will invite us down, because we'd love to do something live down there.
That would be great.
I think that
Such
would be
a pretty area, and
because we love to do. We're coming up on our 100th live Facebook event.
Congrats.
And we'd love to come down and do something live down there.
We're going to feed you well and give you some cocktails
absolutely.
too.
Well, I was down there yesterday riding my bike, so riding through.
Did you see the Chalk Art Festival?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's really cool.
That's great stuff. So thank you for hearing. Beth Hudson with Hudson Creative, PR guru. It seems like anytime there is an event or a launch or something, you're involved with it.
You're too kind.
Do a great job. Beth and her husband, Brian, world-class photographer. They're all over town. Be or be seen. You'll see them there. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you so
Really
much.
appreciate it.
It's a
Great
lot
to
of
see
fun.
you again. Thank you. Hey, great job, you guys. Great show, isn't it? We got so many great people here, and I love how the people that have come together on the show today. That's been the fun part of it. You know, trying to marry everyone together and hear their stories and how they all come together. So I think when you can bring I don't know, how do you marry everyone together to tell their story, and how does everyone move forward to cultivate their story? Well, the next woman did just that on her career path. As she was plugging along, you know, she's been around in the business all her life in front of the camera as a host, as a speaker, as a motivator, building her brand. She just did that. And then all of a sudden, she decided she was going to make a little transition in that. And a career change, but she wasn't going to let that career change her path of her career. So as a woman, she just decided not to change that path. So today I have Maria Lucci, and her brand is called The Empowered Mom. Maria, come on in.
I am so happy to be here with you, Chris, and everyone else. So happy to be here. I just do want to say, I love, if you guys can see right here, the logo and how it reflects Fort Worth and the people. And that's exactly what the show is. That's exactly what you do, and I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, and I'm very happy to be here with everyone.
Well, we're all about cultivating business and try to tell those stories of Fort Worth, and we've got so many great storytellers here in Fort Worth, and we've got great people today. I was thrilled to have that Hal agreed to be on the store today. Fortunately, hopefully I did justice to what he does.
I think you did great.
He does a great job.
You did great.
I see him on TV.
And he did great.
He did really good.
Yes.
And Dr. Nowlin and Beth, they're all great people today. I'm thrilled to have you here.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here and talk with you and share my story with everyone.
Tell me what you're up to.
So here's the deal. I've been on camera, as you've said, almost all my life. You put me in front of a camera or a live audience or anyone and I'm on. My husband says, just put a quarter in her and she'll go. What do you want to talk about, right? I mean, she'll talk to this table and she'll get the table to talk back to her. So I've been an anchor and reporter for over 15 years, and including here in Dallas-Fort Worth at CBS 11, Channel 33. And then my husband and I decided it would be a great idea to have 3 boys within 21 months. 3 boys, and do the math, there's a set of twins in there. And so he was in the news business as well, and he was traveling. And so we made the decision together that I would stay home and help raise these 3 infants, which we did through in vitro, and we were very blessed to be able to have 3 healthy boys. And then what's typically the first thing that people ask you? What do you do? And so I would say, well, I was a broadcaster. Oh, so you're just a mom. You're just a mom. So you don't work. And I'm like, whoa, how did I completely just get completely devalued in our society by taking care of 3 beautiful children? But that's exactly what happened. And so I literally, it was, not only was it an identity crisis, but I also had to learn who I was and figure out what I was going to do, right? And so I had to say, I have to be empowered. And I created The Empowered Mom, which is really a community of mothers and women coming together to embrace where you are, expand where you are, and empower your life.
Great. And so you have a talk show.
I am on radio across the nation every week. We are working on nationally syndicated television. We have YouTube. We have our website. We have a community of women that come together. We do the Empower Hour. I mean, it has been probably the most thrilling aspect of my entire life is coming together as women. Because listen, there is no perfect mom. There is the empowered mom. And that's what it's all about.
Where can I find you?
Everywhere, The Empowered Mom. The Empowered Mom page on Facebook, The Empowered Mom on Twitter, The Empowered Mom on Instagram, Maria Lucci on LinkedIn. Just look up The Empowered Mom. You're going to find me, and you can also become empowered.
What's your value proposition?
Come together, as a community, as women, to strengthen each other and to realize there is no perfect mom. There is the empowered mom.
Okay,
That's what it's all about.
great. What's your mission?
To empower other women in all areas of their life. And not just women, frankly, men. And it doesn't have to be just moms, because the message really goes across all races, cultures, sexes, because it's just about growth and taking back your power in whatever area of your life you are currently in, and expanding. And
Great. So I think this is a great example about building a brand, right?
Yes, yes.
Right.
And it's
You had a world-class brand. You stopped and you kept building. So Maria Lucci, the empowered mom, thinks it's a great example. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to get everyone to come back in. We're going to talk a little bit about, we've got the doctor with us. Dr. Nowlin is in the house.
Actually, I'm just Brad.
Brad.
Doctor, sorry.
But can we talk?
Come back around.
And I just wanted to add, empowered moms make great wives, don't they?
Thank you.
I mean,
Well,
you're helping families, aren't
Come
you?
in tight. You've got to come in tight with that Facebook camera.
Well,
Okay.
if you're not empowered in yourself, you can't be an empowered
Okay,
partner.
we're
empowered
talking about
parent.
stress. Okay, Beth, come on in. Everybody, you got to come in pretty tight. Beth, how do you deal with pretty tight, pretty quick? How do you deal with stress, Beth?
Well, I set boundaries. I used to be such a people pleaser, saying yes to everything, and it got me really stretched thin, even though on the outside it looked as I was super successful and busy. So now I really prioritize. I don't say yes to everything. I surround myself with people and clients that make me feel good and make me feel uplifted, and it's made all the difference in the world.
Okay.
And then I always make sure that I have restorative downtime, where I'm just relaxing, going to the spa, spending time with family, like no phones, like no TV, nothing, just restorative downtime.
Okay. Brad?
It sounds great. Exercise is a big thing for me too. Worship also is important. Connecting with people, networking. I get energy being around new people and exciting people, which is why it's really an honor to be a therapist and to help walk along people in their lives and to see them get better.
I'm going to do it through exercise. Spinning, riding my bike, getting out and exercising.
Love it, because there's all the endorphins, which also empower you. And a lot of it is saying no means saying yes to yourself, oftentimes, which goes to what you were saying, right? And which goes to the stress levels too. So especially as women, we're nurturers and we want to say yes to everyone. And we oftentimes have to learn to say no, so that it's.
No, I can't wait to hear this. Look at that face. Look at this face right here.
Why did you just look at me?
I was just going to say, I think it's just best to yell and scream at whoever's near you.
Oh, yay, that works too.
No, I'm just kidding. No, exercise is really the way I do it as well.
Yep.
And I think especially actually weightlifting, if you can get into that, that's very helpful.
That's right. So I think it's one of the things is that as things build up, right?
Oh yeah.
And then we all say we're going to exercise, we're going to do, and then things build up and we all kind of do it at once. I know I say I'm going to work out every day or I'm going to do something every day, and then that maybe becomes 2 days a week. Any advice you have for trying to do something every day?
Well, I guess, one of the best ways to help your self-esteem is to simply keep agreements with yourself and others. You're probably really accomplished professionals here, and you know what it's like to keep agreements with others. It's also vital to keep agreements with yourself, so that if you say, I'm going to work out, do it. Because if you don't, then you look in the mirror and you're going like, what did I say I was going to do? And it gets kind of builds on itself, and then maybe we want to go eat too much because we don't feel good about ourselves, and we become disempowered, don't we?
Yes, exactly.
Right. And what about resolutions? Because it seems like it's the first of the year resolutions for everyone. Does everyone make resolutions, or?
I like goals instead of resolutions.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah,
That's
and
exactly
it doesn't
what I
have
was
to be
gonna
the first
say.
of the year. I think it can be a gut check every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Okay, goals.
I use a whiteboard too. You can write things out.
Oh, God, yes.
And what your plan is and what you're going to do, and you can follow that, and it's helpful to have it up there and written where you can look at it every day.
And Post-it notes.
You're watching Inside Fort Worth Business. I am with some major influencers, decision makers, and we're kind of talking about how do you set goals, how do you set priorities, but mainly how do you get away from, I call it the third person in the room. How many of you take the phone in the bedroom with you?
How do you not?
Yeah.
I mean, that's and to what he was saying earlier. I mean, it's really, you have to set boundaries and
Absolutely, and we see it probably even more scary as you talk about moms. What about the kids? What about the kids that are growing up? Always, when they're very little, they're learning how to play on an iPhone, and they're probably so tech savvy, we can't understand them. So
we're setting the example for them. We have to empower them in the right ways.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think one of the things we do is I see how many young people do we see with a phone.
Well, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them, right? They probably know more than we do.
Yeah, you want to talk about empowered kids, or go to the DPS.
Well, let's empower them the other way.
Yeah, the wrong way. So, anyway, any parting thoughts?
I'd also add something about gratitude and the world of positive psychology in terms of trying to celebrate what is right and good and true, and everything that's happening at Fort Worth that you're doing and that so many other people are doing is so positive and so inspiring and so uplifting.
Yes.
To spend time reflecting on that and writing down things you're grateful for and things that you're happy to be a part of.
And I would say giving back. I would say giving back. That's how I do a lot of empowering, not only myself, but my kids, is helping them. And it doesn't have to just be in money. It can be in time. Give your time. Give back to your community. And you're teaching them from the ground up.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, I appreciate all y'all being here on this edition of Inside Fort Worth Business. We've had a great show today. Really enjoyed covering all these different bases that we've had. I hope you all will tune in next week for this edition of Inside Fort Worth Business at 12 noon sharp. Thank each and every one of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. And please tune in. I hope everyone has a fantastic week. Thank each of our guests. Hal.
Thank you.
Maria. Beth. Brad, I'm Chris Quinn. This is Inside Fort Worth Business. Have a great week and cultivate some business, everyone.